vision is like, you are not getting out of my sight, you need to stay next to me. Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. It's Mishka, and for today's video we are going to do a little review of one of my favorite series ever, which is the Knockemout series by Lucy Score. So if you want to read this book, or if you are in the process of reading this series, then definitely continue watching, because I'm going to be giving my spoiler-free review of this series. So if you're new to this series has been quite popular on BookTok and Bookstagram, and obviously I picked it up because I am such a FOMO activist. Like, if there's a book that's going viral, I actually need to read it. Like, I'm going to read it. And I picked these up, I think 3 years ago when I joined BookTok, and I've had them ever since. I only recently finished the last one, which is Things We Left Behind. So I thought I would come here and give a spoiler-free review because I love watching review videos, and I'm just like, this is why I'm here. This is why I started this channel, because I want to share my love for books, but at the same time I want to give book recommendations. So yeah, let's get straight into the Knockemout series by Lucy Score. So the titles of the book are Things We Never Got Over, which is the first book, She Is Blue. The next one is Things You Hide From the Light, the second book. And then the third one is Things We Left Behind. Now all of these books are interconnected, and they take part in a small town called Knockemout. Obviously that's why it's called Knockemout. And they each follow a group of friends. So these two follows two brothers, and then this is their best friend that they grew up with, also in the small town. And then their females or their partners also become, you know, close, and they have this cute little girl gang going around. So yeah, I'm gonna break them down book by book and then give you the tropes and just my general thoughts on each of these. Before I get started on the review, I do want to say that this is not a normal small town romance, which is why I feel like it's so largely popular. There is a subplot in this whole series, which is the kind of like gangster mob boss, you know, police on the payroll of mob bosses. There is this whole subplot beneath this entire series, and I think that's why it's so popular, because we're not just getting romance, but we're getting this action-packed, adrenaline-fueled like subplot that literally has you at the edge of your seat. And I think people should know that, because I feel like we go into it, like I went into it not knowing what's going on, and the subplot of this like gangsterism and all of that mob gangsters, it kind of unfolds right through the series, and that's why it's so lovely that it's interconnected. Like, it's not only the couples, but it's also the subplot that runs right through, and it ends in the last book. So I really think that's important to note if you are wanting to pick up the series. So the first book is Things We Never Got Over, and this follows Knox and Naomi. This is by far my favorite book. Like, guys, I love this book. You can see my tabs. I was so obsessed with it. Like, it was so cute. So let me give you the synopsis. Naomi has a twin sister, Tina, who has been residing in Knockemout. Tina phones and is like, please come and help me. Naomi is also going through a midlife crisis. She is a runaway bride. She's like, I have nowhere to go. I'm going to my sister. Lo and behold, Tina, who has been a scammer her whole life, she literally runs away. She leaves Naomi with a child, her child, which is called Waylay, and she is like the smartest mouth ever. I love her so much. And everyone in the town hates Tina. Like, they literally despise her, including Knox. Knox is like the town, I want to say like the town coordinator, like the representative. He is just all for Knockemout. He won the lottery, so he has a lot of investments, he has a business, and he does not like Tina. So because they are twins, when he sees Naomi, he's just like, no, you need to go, because he doesn't know they're twins. He actually thinks it's Tina that he's talking to, and immediately they become enemies, because they meet and it's immediately like a tiff, because Knox is like, why are you here? Get out, blah blah blah. And Naomi's like, dude, I've had a bad day, don't start with me. When Naomi decides to stay in town, she ends up getting a job at a bar, which, wait for it, Knox owned. The forced proximity, I absolutely loved it. And in this book, the gangster subplot, like the mob boss subplot, it comes into play with Tina, because Tina ends up dating the mob boss's son, and oh my word, it just spirals from there. It's crazy, honestly. But yeah, Knox and Naomi fall in love. It's a rocky road for them, obviously, because of Tina and the child, but they end up making it work. And this is by far like my favorite book of the series. Small town, forced proximity, enemies to lovers, found family, guys. Like, the found family in this book is insane. And then obviously we have Knox's brother, who is the second book, and then Lucian, their best friend, who is in the third book. So that's all I'm going to say on this. If you are intrigued, definitely check it out. Like, I would always recommend this book. I love it so much. The next book is Things You Hide from the Light, which follows Nash, Knox's brother, and Lena, Knox's best like girlfriend. So Nash is the good guy. He is the police officer who then becomes like the chief of police, and he just wants his town to be safe. But obviously, because of what unfolded in the first book, something happened to him that has left him traumatized by the time this book starts. And then Lena moves into town on some like shady business. We don't really know what she does until we like find it towards the end of the book, so it's quite intriguing to find out her work. And the two of them end up living in one of Knox's like buildings on top, because Nash lives in an apartment that Knox owns, and then she ends up renting the place next to him. So it's neighbors to lovers, forced proximity, small town vibes. Nash is going through something. I'm gonna say that it's PTSD because I don't want to give spoilers, but he has like a bit of PTSD of what happened in the first book, and Lena is there for him. Lena takes care of him, you know, he heals. This is a thick book because, like I said, the subplot does come back tenfold in this book. Like, it's crazy. And honestly, this was by far my least favorite in the series, just because for me it felt like too long. Like, I wasn't interested in the couple, and I think that's why it took me a bit like of time to finish it. But overall, this book is needed in the series. Like, some people love this book, and obviously I didn't. I'm not saying it's a bad book or anything, it's just like my taste, but genuinely loved like the whole series, and this is just like an intricate part of the series. So yeah, that is Nash and Lena's story. They end up living next to each other, and she ends up working for like a shady like business type of thing in Nash's eyes that like counteracts his good guy act and him being a police officer. Like, she ends up knowing a lot of stuff that she isn't supposed to know, and he's like, what's going on here? So yeah, they like kind of force her, but he tries to not make it obvious. But yeah, this is the second book in the Knockemout series. The next book is Things We Left Behind, and guys, I feel like if you have read the first two books, this is the book that everyone has been anticipating. Even when it came out, people were like, we want the book, we want Sloane and Lucian's book, and let's just get back into business. From the first book, Sloane and Lucian are enemies, rivals. They hate each other. They grew up in Knockemout. Sloane is the librarian. Lucian is this bad boy. He's morally grey. Like, guys, it's insane. They are so opposite, but it is second chance, friends to lovers. And this is a flashback, like then and now romance, because of these two, they grew up in Knockemout. They grew up with Knox and Nash. So Lucian moves into town, and Lucian moves next to Sloane. This is back in the day when they're in high school. He becomes, you know, the famous football player, and she's the nerd. But what people don't know is that Lucian and his mom are being abused by his dad, like physically abused. This was the most emotional book ever, honestly. And Sloane just wants to protect him. So they end up becoming friends, because when he needs space, he will like climb up a tree and visit her, and she will like console him. They don't end up dating. They literally just end up being like friends and being each other's like safe haven. And Sloane's family takes Lucian in. They don't know about the abuse, but they love him like a son, because they don't have a son, they have two girls. And then something happens which causes the two of them to break the trust that they bonded. Lucian asked Sloane to not do something where his father is concerned, and she was like, I am not going to see you, you know, like dead. And back in the day, like when they were growing up and this teenage thing happened, the mob boss and the gangsterism is in the town already. So it literally has been building to the present, and it's so crazy to see how it unfolds in this book. And then yeah, it's basically just the two of them like fighting the urge to be each other, lots of yearning, until something happens and Lucian is like, you are not getting out of my sight, you need to stay next to me, like, you know, because then Sophie becomes endangered with the whole mob boss, and it is insanely good. It is a bit long, like this book I put off because look how thick it is. I put it off, and then once it got good, because in the beginning there's a slow burn, there's tension between them, it's just like sexual, but once they start, the slow burn ends, they can't get enough of each other. So it takes a while for the slow burn to end, but when the slow burn ended, I was like, okay, things are rolling now. So this is definitely a slow burn compared to the other two, but we do get a glimpse of the past, which I love. Like, I love second chance romance and friends to lovers. That is my favorite top ever. So this book, it started off being my least favorite, like on top of this one, but then towards the end I ended up loving it, because Lucian, the man that you are, he's just like 21st century Christian Grey. So yeah, the tropes for this are slow burn, second chance, friends to lovers, neighbors to lovers in their teenage years. They work together, like they're trying to figure stuff out, and it's also found family, because Sloane's parents literally like took Lucian in. He loved them down. He done so much stuff for family, and and she didn't even know. She didn't know. Like, that was the biggest plot twist to her. He was such a good guy to her family. So yeah, that is Things We Left Behind, the last book in the Knockemout series. So the reading order is as follows: Things We Never Got Over, which is Knox and Naomi's story; Things We Hide from the Light, which is Lena and Nash's story; and Things We Left Behind. Now I'm going to give you guys my overall review. This is a 4-star series. I want to say maybe 4.5. Let's put it at 4.5 because I love small town series. So I'm a big fan of it. And we are going to put them from like least favorite to the most. And my least favorite book in this series has got to be Things We Hide from the Light. I just didn't gel with this book. It just wasn't for me. Like, no thank you. And then the second book is Things We Left Behind. Just too long, in my opinion. Like, it was just too long, and the chemistry was there, but like they kept on building it up and building it up in the beginning. It just felt boring towards the end. And then obviously number 1 spot, Things We Never Got Over, which I feel like is good, because when people start series, the first book is always like, and then it kind of gets better and better and better. But in this series, the first book was such a hit for me. Like, absolutely loved it. So I definitely recommend it. 4.5 stars for this entire series. If you are looking to read it, then definitely check it out, because BookTok is not lying about this. This is what I'm here for. I feel like BookTok, there's so many books that go viral and people don't know what to read, but I can guarantee you that this series is 100% worth your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have liked this video, then definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos, then definitely subscribe. If you have finished this series, if you are in the middle of reading it, then let me know in the comments your favorite book, like your thoughts on them, your favorite characters. My favorite has got to be Knox. Like, I love that man. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.